We'll go ahead and get started. First question, Adam Spollen.
Hey, Stephen, how did Gobert impact how you guys were able to run your offense?
I mean, he was in the paint the whole game. We were trying to move him around. We were trying to make him defend ball handlers. He forced us to shoot jump shots. He was in the paint, and he forced us into driving kicks. Forced us into early pass ahead threes, all of those things. He just, he guarded Jae'Sean Tate most of the game, so they had smaller guys on Seawood and Kelly, and really made it hard on us. We got a bunch of open threes, and we just didn't make them. And then against this team, that's what they're going to do. They're going to stay home on the shooters, allow Gobert to be in the middle, and dare you to attack him, or if there's any sort of help off of him, or if he helps at all, they're going to dare you to shoot those shots. And unfortunately, we didn't make them tonight.
I don't know if impossible is the right word, but when you're not making shots, is it almost impossible to beat that team with the way that they defend?
I mean, when you're not making shots, it's hard to beat anybody, but them especially, because they have, a defensive system that is really tight based on personnel, and he made it hard on us. But yeah, if you're not making shots, if you're going 10 for 49 from three, and we made, I think, our last 3 threes, Lamb made 2, and I think Armani made 1. Yeah, so it's hard to beat anybody when you go 10 for basically 50 from 3.
Kelly, go.
Hey, Coach, is it still a work in progress trying to figure out the right blend of kind of plays to run for Christian and how to get him more involved in the half court?
Not really. I mean, he is getting opportunities. Tonight was a little bit harder because of how they played him. And, I'm not really kind of inclined to give it to him in the post and let him grind down in the post and that sort of thing. He's very good at what we have him doing, and he's averaging 21 points a game. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Jonathan Fagan.
Realizing this is sort of repetitive from other games, but when a team is letting you take those kind of threes, if they're not going in, is it demoralizing to where it impacts play in other ways?
For sure, it is demoralizing when you're getting open shots and you're not making them. But there's also the reality that we don't have like 4 of our best shooters on the floor, right? We're missing DJ Augustin, we're missing Sterling Brown, we're missing Eric Gordon, we're missing Danuel House, and obviously KP. So without those 4, especially, it's going to be hard for us to make some shots.
Ali Kompajani.
Hey, Stephen, I know Jae'Sean went 0 for 9 from 3 tonight, but were you happy with the shots he was taking? And it seemed like he was finding himself open, especially when his teammates were getting penetrations of the paint and passing it out to him.
I was totally happy with his shots. He was open. He works hard at his game. He is super conscientious as far as getting his shots up, and they were leaving him open, and he just didn't make them tonight. But I'm glad he took 9 of them instead of 2 of them.
Brandon Scott.
Hey, Coach, at the end of the game, once it's kind of out of hand and you put your reserves in, well, first of all, what did you think of what the younger players did at the end of the game? And how does the coaching change for you in that stage of the game in terms of how you're evaluating what the guys are doing out there?
Yeah, I was proud of those guys. I thought they played well down the stretch of the game, and they played hard. And obviously, so John was only our true point guard, was our only true point guard tonight on our roster. So we had Jae'Sean Tate running the point some, and trying to keep it simple, trying to keep it organized is the goal, but also not slowing so far down that we're trying to grind against their defense. So yeah, it's all evaluation, it's all learning, it's all of those things. But I thought defensively they did a good job. You know, we held them to 21 points. Our switching was good tonight, and they obviously made the threes that they usually make. I mean, they're the number one 3-point shooting team in the league. But as far as evaluating those young guys, this is important for them to get those fourth quarter minutes and prove, or not even prove, but show who they can be, what they can grow into, what we need to work on, all of those things. And, you know, you really find out a lot about people in general in the world in adverse situations. And obviously we've been through as much adversity as anybody in the NBA. So we're learning a lot about all of us during this time. And the young guys are guys who we're evaluating. And, you know, you can look at it as an opportunity, or you can be kind of down about getting in at the end of the game and not getting in the first 3 quarters or whatever. So I was proud of those guys.
Adam Spolin.
I guess with what you just said about Jae'Sean, does that also kind of fall in the same category with Armani, where he wasn't making shots, but he didn't lose kind of that faith in that he still had the confidence to keep shooting? And do you see that as a step for younger guys?
Absolutely. I mean, for him being a rookie and a G League bubble guy and coming in and starting a game, first of all, and not being afraid at all. I mean, you could see that. And I don't think I told him that. I might have told him last game. I said, I know I don't have to tell you this, but don't hesitate. And he's a super confident guy. And you have to be confident to be a shooter in the NBA. And you got to believe that the next shot is going in. So, yeah, for Armani, it was a rough night, obviously, but he's a bounce back guy, and he's as confident as they come. And you got to be next shot, next game, and I'm sure he will be.
We'll take 2 more. Mark Berman.
Stephen, I know it's really no longer a small sample. Does what KJ is doing in terms of different bigs he blocks on a nightly basis, that ever cease to amaze you or surprise you at all anymore?
Yeah, it does amaze me. It's you know, he's just quick off his feet. He has great timing. He doesn't foul in those situations. And for him to be as young as he is and straight out of IMG in high school a couple of years ago, yeah, for him to make those plays are amazing. And like I've said before, there isn't a night in the NBA. This is my 20th year, and there isn't one night that there isn't a play that makes you say, wow. And that was one of those.
And last question, Brandon Scott.
Stephen, we noticed Christian Wood and John Wall talking for almost, it looked like the entire fourth quarter on the side. And I imagine that's relatively normal for that to happen, but, you know, for those guys to be communicating like that. But for you, and we can ask them this ourselves, but for you, what should the star players be focused on at a time like this when the season is kind of what it is and when a game like that has gotten out of hand? What are some of the things for star players like that or for leaders like that to be focused on?
Yeah, I think it is multifaceted, I guess. They need to be leaders by example, first and foremost, do things in the right way. They need to talk to the young guys and make sure that they're communicating and make sure that they are, I mean, especially John, he's been through every experience you could possibly be in, right? So making sure that they're talking to the young guys and kind of pushing us forward. And the one thing about both guys is at this point of the season, where we are as far as our record and all of these things, they want to play. They want to play. They want to be out there. They want to help the team. They want to do what they can. They want to produce and try. And you saw Christian Wood. I told him tonight, I thought he did a really good job with the switching defense. He was guarding Conley at times, Clarkson at times, Ingles at times. And it wasn't perfect, but he was just trying so hard, and he made plays, and he made them finish over him, and he's got length and all those things. And with, I don't know how many games we have, 14, 13, whatever, with the record that we have, that makes you kind of understand what kind of character Christian Wood has. And then the John Wall part, this is a guy who's coming off 2 injuries over the last 2 years, major injuries. We are where we are with our record, and he's out there wanting to play more minutes and wanting to do what he can and all of those things. So, like I said, leading by example is first and foremost, and doing things the right way. And we're not always doing things the right way, that's for sure. But building and growing and learning and all of those things that you have to do when you're in the position that we're in. A lot of times you don't have veteran guys who are totally bought into that. And those are 2 guys who are.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.